Hey everyone, my name is Mrs. Brewer. I am your instructor for English 112 for this summer session, and I want to welcome you guys to the course. You're getting me from my home. I'm not working on campus this summer. I just have a couple of online classes. I'm at home with a new baby, so when you see me, I won't be, made up or anything like that because I'm tired. I have a 6-week-old baby at home right now. So I wanted to do an introductory video and also your first weekly lecture video. This video might be a little bit longer because I'm going to go over your syllabus and I'm going to go over your assignments, and I will do one of these videos every week for the duration of the course. It's really important that you watch all videos. In these videos, I will explain to you my expectations for your assignments. I clear up misconceptions and confusion that has happened in the past with assignments, so the videos are very helpful. I also really suggest that you actively take notes during these videos, so that after you watch it, you can go back to your notes and you have things written down and you don't have to try to figure out where I said something that you want to, look at further. So, really take some notes during the videos. So I'm going to start with just a quick overview of the course. Okay, so we're in English 112. I want to preface everything in this course by saying this is an abbreviated course, meaning you guys are doing the work of 16 weeks in 5 weeks. And it doesn't mean that you do less work because you're getting the same credit as everybody else. So you do the same work. So be prepared because you're going to have a lot of assignments that go really, really quickly. It is imperative that you guys use all of the resources that I'm providing you. It is imperative that you guys check in daily, check your email daily, and make sure that you're staying on top of everything. Because you guys are going to do a lot of work in a short period of time. Okay, that's the benefit of getting this credit in a very short period of time, but you need to work for it. So get ready for that. Okay. Your introductory assignment must be completed before anything else can be done in the class. So this week, your introductory assignment is your enrollment assignment, and it's a quick journal, 4 questions, 200 to 300 words. You're writing in a paragraph, okay? So you're not numbering it. You're writing it in a paragraph where you answer those questions within the paragraph, okay? Nothing else opens up until you do that assignment for the first week, so you can't do any other work. As soon as you do the first assignment, the other assignments will open up for you to complete. If the assignment is not complete by June 26th at 11:55 p.m., on June 27th, you will be dropped from this course. So make sure you get it done. And that's your enrollment assignment. So I'm just looking at helpful tips and kind of going through there if you guys want to follow along with me. It's always a good idea when you're watching, you should already have Moodle up because that's where you get to the link to the video to follow along with what I'm talking about. We have attendance assignments every week, so that's what I'm looking at to ensure that you're completing at least something to stay enrolled in the course. If you do just your attendance assignments, you're not going to pass the course. That just keeps you enrolled in the course. If you miss 2 weeks of attendance assignments in the course, you're dropped for attendance purposes. So make sure you get your attendance assignments done. Those are usually the easier of the assignments for the week. So make sure you get those done. Make sure that you're looking at all of the weekly material. Make sure you email me if you have any questions. And you need to, as soon as you're done with your introductory assignments, start reading Othello. Super important. The whole course is essentially based off of this text, so make sure that you get that done. And I provide you guys with the PDF and the questions for discussion board and things like that this week. They come from that PDF. Okay, so make sure you do that. That PDF is also really helpful because it has some explanations of words, Shakespearean language that you may not understand. and it has kind of questions that go through. So as you're reading, there'll be a question listed that kind of checks your reading and makes sure you know what's going on, so you know what to look for. So that's why I really like this PDF of Othello. You also have a multitude of resources on the internet to help you with your understanding of Othello. And one of those resources is SparkNotes. And I have No Fear Shakespeare, not SparkNotes. No Fear Shakespeare. No Fear Shakespeare essentially takes the text, so you can look at the actual Shakespearean text, and it translates it for you into modern language. Sometimes not as easy to understand still, but it's really helpful in understanding what's going on. So utilize the internet as, for resources. As long as you're not stealing information from those resources, you're just researching to better understand the text. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that you're actually reading the play. That's important. You can't just, read summaries and expect to be able to perform well, especially because you are writing a paper about this play. You have to read the play. The other thing that I suggest you do is I suggest that you actively read the play. So just like actively watching these videos, that means you're taking notes. Write down quotations that stand out to you. Read questions from the journals and from the discussion boards prior to reading the play, so you kind of know what you're looking for. And take down notes that of quotations of where they are, because you'll have to quote them in your paper. And write that stuff down, okay? Make a note of it. Act 3, scene 2, line 65. They talk about Othello's race or something like that. Like, make a note of that, because you're going to want to go back to it for your paper, okay? So that's kind of a tip. All right. So you'll be reading Othello. I'm going to go ahead and skip down to the syllabus addendum, because the syllabus is the same for every English 112 course, okay? It just tells you what you do in an English 112 course, which is you cover multiple forms of research, and you do some reading and some writing and that kind of thing. The addendum is for our particular class. So the syllabus addendum, if you want to download that with me now, that will explain to you guys how this particular class is going to work. So this addendum lets you know how attendance runs. Okay, missing 1 week of assignment. I'm sorry, I said 2 weeks, but I lied. It's 1 week of assignment because it's a 5-week course. So 1 week of assignments results in you being dropped from the course. If you miss 3 attendance assignments, you're withdrawn from the course. Any 3, okay? So it's really super important that you guys do this stuff. When you communicate with me, use email. When you communicate with me to my Lancer email, you have to use your Lancer email. So that means don't email me from hotmama321@google.com or whatever. Use your actual Lancer email. There's an email format that I request that you use, and please do that. If you need to copy and paste it and fill in your information, then do that, but make sure that you are utilizing that format. It's the same format you learn in ACA, okay? So when you prepare to be in college classes, you always use a salutation. You say hello to someone before you're asking them for something or asking a question. Identify yourself. Identify what course you're in. A lot of time your instructors are teaching multiple courses, sometimes multiple sections of the same course, so identify that. And then what do you need? I want clarification on this assignment. I'd like clarification on this grade. My specific questions are as follows, and then thank you or some sort of closing and your name. Also, I need to state this, my communication for this class is with you as a student. It is not with your mom or your dad or anyone else, okay? So please note that that's who I will communicate with when it comes to questions about our course. You are not required for a textbook. You just need to download that PDF of Othello and read that and utilize anything I give you guys in regard to resources. You are expected to have a computer. You are expected to have Microsoft Word. I will only grade assignments that are submitted in Microsoft Word. Do not use anything else. I will not grade them. And I will only allow you to resubmit it once. After one time, or a certain amount of time of resubmitting, I'm done with the resubmissions. We have too much stuff coming in way too quickly for me to be able to backtrack and grade stuff that was submitted in the wrong format. So make sure that you submit things in Microsoft Word. For this class, we have 2 submission dates, Wednesdays and Sundays. So you'll have assignments that are due on Wednesdays and you'll have assignments that are due on Sundays. And make sure you get those turned in on time, okay? You must submit through Moodle. I don't take anything through email, so don't email it to me, okay? Your due date is the due date that's highlighted in yellow, so you have a due date for your assignment. Your deadline is 2 days after the due date. So you have 2 days to turn in late assignments in this course, that's it. After 2 days, I'm not accepting it. Each day that it's missing, you will receive a 10-point deduction. So if you get a 90 on the assignment, but it's a day late, it's an 80. So make sure that you're aware of that. You must submit the literature review and your social justice presentation. These are the big presentations at the end of the course on time. If you submit it late, I take it no more than 24 hours late. And if it's at all late, it's a 15-point deduction on the assignment. So get it turned in on time. That's your finalist. Those are your cumulative assignments. Your grading scale is broken down for you. We're doing 2 styles of research and documentation. MLA style, which you should have learned in English 111. We start with that. And your MLA style will include your literary analysis of Othello. So that's a 20% grade. 20% of your grade are the things that add up to that paper. So your outline, your rough draft, your final draft of Othello. Then you have APA style, and that's 25% of each of them are 25%. I need to fix that. 25% of the course, and that is your you're going to have a annotated bibliography, you're going to have a literature review, which is a completely different style of writing, and you're going to have a social justice presentation project. And those 3 things will all be in APA format with APA research, and that's 25% of your grade. Everything else in the course, including your final exam, is within coursework, okay? So the final exam is not going to make or break you or anything like that. It is a part of your coursework. Generally, it's 1 to 2 weeks for grades to be updated. It'll be about 1 week in this class, so as quickly as you're turning it in, I'm going to try to be grading it just as quickly. Make sure that when you submit your assignments in Moodle, if it's a text assignment, you can type right in the text box. Papers must be, again, in Microsoft Word. If you're choosing to withdraw from the class, please email me and let me know, and I can take care of it for you. Plagiarism is super important in every class, but specifically in an English class, okay? It is imperative that you are properly documenting research that you complete. It is imperative that you are giving credit where credit is due. The first time that you plagiarize on a paper, whether it be global, cut and paste, incremental, like it doesn't even have to be on purpose. Make sure you read those definitions of what those things are. The first time is a 0 for the assignment. The second time is you fail the course. End of story. So make sure you don't do that. If you have any technical issues, you can email me and let me know, but I can't help you with technical stuff. I have an English degree, not a technology degree, so make sure that you contact our technology people if you need help with something. I will direct you to them, but I will not be able to tell you if there's something wrong with your Moodle account. Just be aware of that. Also be aware that if you try to turn something in at 10 o'clock at night on a Wednesday and then you have a technical issue and it ends up being late, it ends up being late. That's still counted as late. Okay, so don't wait till the last minute and you won't have to worry about that. Okay, so there's your syllabus addendum. I'm going back to our Moodle course, and you will see right underneath your syllabus addendum is a free download of Microsoft Office. So make sure you're using Microsoft Word and PowerPoint for your final for your projects that are due to me. The LRC you will become very familiar with. That is where you will do most of your research for a lot of your paper writing projects, things like that. And then there's just a little document that talks to you about how to send an email, which is also in my addendum, but make sure that you read that. And then finally, under resources is an opportunity for you to get help. It's Need a Tutor, and you can click on that. If you do so, let me know so I can refer you. But that is a great opportunity for you to get your papers read and edited before you turn them in to me. I highly suggest you utilize that free tutoring. You can submit your paper and they will edit it for you and send it back to you in a PDF so that you can make corrections and revise your paper. And because we do have an abbreviated course, we don't spend any real time with rough drafts or anything like that. So that's on you to make sure you get your papers revised. All right, first week stuff, here we go. So week 1 in a summer course is not just a syllabus week. You have work to do. You are currently watching your YouTube introductory video. We went over your syllabus and addendum. Make sure you go through and read that in more detail, print it out so you have a copy, because that gives you contact information for me if you can't get into Moodle for some reason. Your Journal 1 is due by Wednesday at 11:55. And then you have this TED Talk that I really enjoy that you can watch as kind of an intro to Othello. You guys are reading Othello this week, the whole play this week. So make sure you plan to read at least 1 act per day to be done in time for the end of the week. You have your enrollment assignment. Go ahead and knock that out. I would knock it out as soon as you're done with this video. And then after you do that, then journal number 2 will open up for you. And this is your Act 1 assignment. Journal 2 is also due Wednesday night. Journal 1 and Journal 2 are due Wednesday at 11:55. And so that is your questions on Act 1. So make sure that you answer those. When you're answering those, answer them in detail. The more information you provide from the play, the better you're going to have a time of writing your paper next week. So if you include quotes, make sure you identify where they're coming from. You can use that later in your paper. Same thing goes with the discussion boards. When you guys participate in those, the more information you include, the better you're going to do next week on your paper, because you've already found the information and you have already included it in answers, okay? So you also have 2 discussion forums and another journal that are due on Sunday. So like no joke this week. Your first discussion forum, you're going to write 200 to 300 words, and you're going to just answer the question about Othello's belief that it's better to be abused than to know little. Like essentially he's just saying he'd rather not know if something's wrong, if someone's doing him wrong. He believes that ignorance is bliss. Do you agree with him or not agree with him? And then you only have to respond to 1 other person. Usually discussion forums are 2 responses, but because we have multiple discussion forums this week, you're only responding to 1 other person. And that's, 100 to 150 words minimum in your response. Responses are not, I agree with what you said. I really liked when you said this. No, perpetuate the conversation, ask questions, provide another alternative view. That is a response to a peer in a discussion forum. That's what I'm looking for. Then you have your Journal 3, which asks you about Act 2. And the reason that I focused on Act 1 and Act 2 with these questions is because that's the direction that we're taking with your paper next week. Okay, so just, kind of trying to help you prepare for that. So that's just a journal response, all right, where you're writing 200 to 300 words on those 2 questions in a paragraph form. Make sure, again, that you cite the play. It's imperative that you show me that you've read. And finally, you have a discussion forum on the whole play. Okay, so you want to try to have the play read by Friday if you can. You're choosing 1 question, 1 of the 6. Do not answer all 6 questions. Choose 1 question, and you're writing anywhere from 250 to 500 words about that question. Please, in your thread, write which question you chose, okay, what question number you chose. And then what I'd like you to do is to choose a peer to reply to. I would prefer if you were able to choose a peer that answered a different question than you did, but that may not be possible. So if you choose someone who answered the same question as you, make sure you're perpetuating the discussion, providing an alternative outlook, asking questions, so on and so forth. Okay, so your assignments for this week, there are quite a few. And I would definitely make myself a schedule. I'm going to do Journal 1 on the 25th and knock that out. I'm going to have Act 1 read by the 26th and answer that. I'm going to finish Acts 2 and 3 on, by the 27th. And really kind of make yourself that plan, okay? So that you're finishing 4 and 5 by the 28th and that you're able to get your stuff done. Next week, just so you're aware, we will be watching a film and you will need to purchase the film. It's $2.99. The link that I provide you, it's on YouTube. So I'm sure you can probably find it for free somewhere, but I'm not going to advocate that. Anyway, it's the only cost. There are no textbooks for this class, so I don't feel bad in asking you to spend $3 to watch a movie that you're going to write a paper about. So next week, you will have already read the play. You need to watch that movie ASAP, okay? It is not the movie of the play. It is a modern adaptation of it. And you're going to be writing a literary analysis that compares the two. So you need to have read the play and you need to have watched the movie. And you're doing all of it next week, just so you know. So you'll have 2 assignments due next week. You're going to have 4 assignments due next week. The journal is easy. Knock it out right away. We'll talk about it next week. MLA review, but then you will have to watch that movie. So you'll have a thesis and outline due on Wednesday, and you will have an essay due on Sunday, and it is up to you to get it revised and rough draft and things like that because we don't have a whole lot of time. So this week, you guys are reading the play and getting all of those forums and journals done on the play. If you have questions, please feel free to email me and ask them, and I will be happy to get back to you. I will be checking my email and checking in on Moodle every single morning, okay? So every morning-ish, I will check in as soon as I can. Remember, baby, okay? So right now, baby is sleeping, so she can't, I don't have to worry about, I'll show you her. She's over there, sleeping. So baby's sleeping, so that's why I'm able to knock this thing out. But I will be checking in, and you guys will get one of these videos and treat them as a lecture. You got 20 minutes today that it's a lecture, it's class time, it's in-seat time. It's imperative that you guys watch these videos. So without further ado, I'm going to sign off for this week. Jump in on that reading as soon as you can. And again, if you have questions, please contact me. Have a great week.